Alright, Calum, whenever
Alright.
you're ready.
Alright, should I restart?
Yeah.
Okay. I won't do the boy thing this time. That was just for
Okay.
us. But
Nice.
we are back with Castpod, the best podcast this side.
Of...
Nope, that's it.
Oh, this side?
We're on the side. Welcome. For anyone who's just joining us, hello. And for anybody who has been following since the first episode, hello.
Why are you
Welcome
still
back.
here?
And why are you still here?
Alright.
It's been quite a while since we
been...
recorded one of these.
Alright. It has been the last episode of Castpod we released. And this is released, not recorded.
Right, true.
Was September 13th, 2016.
Wow, that's actually much longer than I thought it was.
Yeah, so...
But you know what? We
okay.
decided... What?
It was... The last episode was released as of recording, which it's April 3rd. 1,298 days ago.
Yeah, so we had a bit of a retirement, let's say.
Hiatus, if you will.
Yeah, we went on a break, but we're back, and this may mean nothing to people that are listening to this for the first time, because this may be branching out from YouTube now.
Yes.
Isn't that right?
I have to talk to some people, and I'll see if we could get us on things like Podbean, Spotify, the Google Music Player thing, Apple Podcast.
Yep.
We're gonna try for a couple, and we're gonna see what hits and what sticks.
Perfect. So that's where we're at right now. So if you're, like I said, a new person, this intro means nothing. But to all of you that have been waiting since 2016, 1,000 some days ago,
yep,
just know we are here and we are back and we are ready to make some more content.
Oh yes, we are. We are ready to bring back Castpod to its entirety.
So I guess to begin, should we kind of start off from where we left? What's happened since the good old days of 2016?
So, good old days of 2016.
Mm-hmm.
We were sophomores in college, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were sophomores. We were going to go into our sophomore year, or we were going to go into our junior year.
September 2016, we were going
into
our sophomore year.
No. Junior year.
Into our junior year. Into our junior year.
So, I remember that we were like, hear me out, because we were roommates at first.
Yep.
We were going to put, I believe the original plan was, let's put the desks together in the room, and then we can record from the desk, keep this going, and yeah. But then what happened, Cal?
Then, you left me.
Yes, I did. And we just didn't do it again.
And we also just never recorded again.
I remember that we did like some test recordings of just the white noise of the room to see if that was going to be a factor, and it was very loud. There was no winning that.
Yeah. But, yeah. Kevin left me. He became an RA.
Yes,
he had his own room.
Mm-hmm.
I had no roommate, and it was
nice.
Pretty cool, actually. I kind of enjoyed it, but, you know. And then, 2016. A lot of things happened. It was a good year. I enjoyed 2016.
I barely remember it.
Well, like I said, that was the year I lived on my own. I think that was the first time I bought a PS4, so had a lot of fun doing that.
Yes. Yeah, you did buy the PS4 that year. So did I. No, I bought mine.
I think you bought yours a little early. You went,
I bought mine,
maybe not in the summer, but,
I bought mine, I know I bought it over the winter.
Yeah.
I remember it because I bought it while we were at school, actually. I didn't realize, because I was an RA, and RAs got paid.
Yes.
Like, a little bit of a stipend. And apparently, as an RA, you still get paid over the winter, like classes and stuff, because it's technically the school year.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. So I like looked at my bank account my family actually went on a trip to Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked at my bank account afterwards. And I had like an extra, I think because it was like 2 month break ish. And I got like 4 paychecks, so I had like an extra $350 or something like that in my bank account that I just did not know was there. It was like a hefty amount. And I bought the PlayStation. I actually bought a used PlayStation that came with Uncharted 4, and last time I played it was yesterday.
Very nice. Well, yeah. So we both bought PS4s, so that's been cool. Donald Trump got elected, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah. We're too cool for political stuff.
Pretty sure that's when Harambe died as well.
Yes, it is. No, that was 2016. That was when Harambe died.
And yeah, a lot happened.
You had a girlfriend then?
I did have one. You had one as well?
Not in 2016.
No?
No.
I thought that was junior year that happened. Was it senior year?
Senior year, yeah.
Oh. Junior, I remember you still had your own room.
Yeah. That was senior year. That was like 3 seconds into senior year, basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Love Lives were a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what else happened junior year? Junior year, I went to Costa Rica for spring break.
No, that was senior year.
God, I just don't know time.
Junior year, we were on the vaulting team. So we were
on the vaulting team.
Gymnastics and stuff on barrels at the time.
Yes, not yet horses. I mean, occasionally. Very
occasionally
rarely.
Horses.
I don't think much else happened to me junior year.
I would just talk to Nicole the entire time. That's all I did.
Ah, yes. Throwback to her.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but then let's just go to senior year because I can't think of any other big things junior year. I'm thinking.
Senior.
Like I said, senior year, I went to Costa Rica in the spring. That was super cool. Mm-hmm. Not super cool for Kevin.
Because Kevin didn't go.
Kevin did not go, and that was a very sad part.
Yeah, that sucked. I'm still butthurt by that.
I would be.
I'm not butthurt in terms of the fact that I didn't have to pay to go.
Mm-hmm.
That I could get into that a little bit later,
right,
when we're catching up to more present day, because that definitely affected me more present day than it did in the past.
Yeah.
In a good way though.
Mm-hmm.
We both had the same internship.
We did. We worked at the same place.
I got a job there.
No longer exists now.
No, it's dead. I got a job there. I met the girlfriend there. It's her birthday today. And
happy birthday.
It's 1 a.m. on her birthday, and I am recording with Calum. We just streamed a little bit, and I just went, hold on a second. I wished Eric happy birthday, and then I went back to playing Pokemon with Calum.
Gotta go back to work, you know?
Yeah, you know.
Back to the grind.
The good old grind.
Let's see what else. Senior year. In between junior and senior year, I had a lot of personal family things going on. I won't get into that now. Maybe that'll be a future episode.
Yeah. We'll have an in theory episode where, when we get to the plug segment later,
yes.
We'll go over that, and we'll just have an episode that we just get oddly real.
Yeah, we'll get super in depth with personal things, but not right now. This will be just kind of a fun recap episode. Probably the biggest thing of senior year was the fact that we graduated.
Somehow
we both graduated.
Like, if you heard, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in the old podcast and stuff like that. But no surprise that Calum, boy genius, had no issues He graduated on time with honors, the works. Played the
Yeah.
oboe. Um,
Oh yeah.
I remember that because that was the funniest moment. You played the national anthem on the oboe at graduation, hungover, because we went
Yeah.
out drinking the night before.
This is true. I was the featured soloist. It was a time, to be
Hmm.
sure. I did not practice at all beforehand. Definitely
Hmm.
wasn't prepared, and I just went for it. And yeah, it ended up pretty okay. I got some fun pictures out of that.
Oh
So
yeah, it's still the logo of one of our group chats actually.
that's true. I'm very proud of
The
that.
American Dream, Calum.
But yes, I graduated. I like to point out, as Kevin said, graduated with honors, but I was the second highest GPA in our specific major.
Hmm. Oop.
Second only to our shared roommate,
Oh yeah, good old Tom.
Tom.
Book smart, out of this world. Common
Yeah,
sense smart.
great guy, but still mad that he
He beat
beat me
you.
just by a little bit. Just by a little bit.
Like, do you know how much it was?
I can't remember, but I know also that my GPA was something like 3.894 or something. I was like just the tiniest bit off
Hmm.
of being the highest
He was,
honors,
yeah.
summa cum laude or whatever. And I think he,
He was like I think it was like a 3.9, like two,
yeah, he had
like
something very
way
close.
up there.
And there were only two people in our department, not even in our grade, in our department that had that high honors, and it was him and Diana, the smart Diana.
Okay, I thought you were talking about more of our Diana, and I was just
At
like,
other Diana, calling her not smart. Just kidding.
I was just like, hang on, what? This girl like did not attend a bunch of classes, and
she she did skip
I
a
was
lot of classes.
so like confused there for a second.
No. The other one.
Yeah, and then shall we get into my senior year
Yes,
around
please go
graduation?
on.
Um,
Please.
so graduating for Calum was a guarantee.
Thank you.
Graduating for me was probably the biggest question mark of the school year.
You
Um,
worked hard for that.
I so I worked hard because I needed to, because I
Hmm.
very much slacked off. So like I would skip classes so I could work and make money,
Hmm.
and then I would also just not do assignments because I was just like, I'm shooing to graduate. I'm fine. And boy, did that almost backfire.
I
Um,
remember.
the class was mammology,
Good old
and
technology.
great class. Like I did good on the test. Um, like I think the lowest grade I ever got on one of his tests was like a 75, which not bad for like not
Hmm.
studying or putting any effort in.
No, that's good.
Um, so the professor 100, he knew I knew what I was talking about. He knew I understood the course. He knew that stuff. But we had projects in lab, and you know who didn't do any projects? Me.
You.
It's me. So I remember talking to him. Um, it was about a week before finals, and I just went up to him and I asked, I'm like, "Hey, so looking a little tough for me here." And he's like, "Yeah, it is." Um, and then it's just like, "So can't make up anything?" And he's like, "Nope, you had your opportunity." And I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And he's like, "All that's left is the final practical and the final midterm, and you gotta do good on those." And I'm like, "Yeah." Like I fully accepted my fate of
Hmm.
I would probably still be able to walk at graduation, um, but and then secretly take online courses to like actually get my diploma and lie to my parents. That is
Right.
100% what was planned out in my head at the time of this conversation. I had it I had it all figured out, and then something happened. There was a girl who was semi annoying. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's like on a like personally like talking to her as friends, cool girl.
Yeah.
Um, talking to her as a classmate, atrocious.
Yep.
Um, she took the final practical and she came up to me afterwards and she knew that I was failing the class because I was very open about it. I didn't hide it.
Right. Right.
And she said, "Oh boy, Kevin." And I'm just like, "What's up?" And she's just like, "That
Oh boy.
final practical was really hard." And I'm like, "How hard was it?" And she's like, "I studied for like weeks. I did well in the class, so she didn't really have to rely on it as much as
Mm-hmm.
I did." But her final practical, I believe she got a 44%.
Jeez, 44?
Yes, she bombed it. Um,
Wow.
and then there was me who didn't take it yet because my
Mm-hmm.
section didn't go yet. And I did the math. I needed an 80% on both the final exam
Mm-hmm.
and the final practical in order to pass. Not like smart people fake passing like the honors kids always were like, "Oh,
Right.
I'm failing," when they actually had a B.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
really, like, I needed to get a 60% in the class.
Yep.
And that's what I was like, alright, you think it's difficult. I very much know more than you. You it's funny
True.
because she would be like she would always want to go over the test, and I specifically never told her if I did better or worse than her in the test. I just said I
Smart.
passed because I did not want her hounding me for every little answer in question.
Oh yeah.
Granted, it would probably make things easier for me, um,
I
but
always hated
still,
doing that. Whenever people were like, "Oh, what'd you get? What'd you get?"
yeah. Like
Because it's like,
I don't mind sharing test like grades and answers and stuff. I'm okay with
mm-hmm.
that. It's just that when you share it with those few people that are like, "Oh, you did better than me. Tell me everything you know." That's when I hated it, which is why I never shared it with her.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's always just annoying also because it's like,
yeah.
there's no good way to have that conversation.
No.
Like one of you is gonna do worse than the other, and they're gonna be like, "Oh man," the other one's gonna do better, and they're either gonna be annoying about it or they're gonna feel bad and be like,
Hmm.
oops.
So
So it's like I never liked that.
I did what the only reasonable person would do, where every time she would say, like what she got, I'd be like, "Ah, nice, I just passed," and then kind of shrugged and did a good old like Kevin, like ha, and then I would talk to our other friend that was in the class. Sam was in that class,
Yeah.
and I would talk to her, and she'd be like, because she wouldn't hound me, and she's like, "What'd you actually get?" And then the semi annoying girl would be like, she would be the one that got like a 74 or something like that, so she passed, and I'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, I got a 78." Like,
Nice.
I didn't study at all, which is very true to me. And with that, with her talking about how she didn't know how I was going to pass the class, I was just like, "I'm going to pass now purely because you said I wouldn't,
So
just to
pure
mess with you."
rage and determination.
Yes. So I remember you were there with me one night.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we studied in the lab. I think I studied in the lab for a total of like 6 hours over 2 nights.
Yeah.
And then on the final practical, where she got a 44, I got an 88.
Yeah, you killed it.
After 2 nights, I knew exactly what I was talking about. I learned how to spell the words. Um,
That is a hard one.
that was a big one for me, as you'll see at a later point in the podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so there was that. And then on the final test, I was feeling good. I did some more studying. There was a lot to learn, and then I got an 80 on the final test too. And then the best part about the final test was I drew on it. So he left a like on the back page. He's like, "Be sure to sign on the back um, when you complete it to make sure you have like the same test packet through and through or something like that." And I drew a picture on it I finished early because I actually studied for once in my life. And I drew a picture of like cartoon me holding a diploma and like dressed in a cap and gown, and with a big question mark saying, "Will Kevin graduate? Did he pass this class? Find out next time." And that next time, because he was the department head, was as I was crossing the stage for graduation. I shook his hand and I just went, "I guess I passed." And he's just like, "Yes, you did." Um,
Wow.
and then came the part afterwards where I was talking to him about it. I'm like, "I'm surprised." He's like, "Yeah, you got an 80." And he's just like, "It was really close there for a second." And I'm like, "You're telling me." And behind me was none other than my mother.
Nice.
Where when we talked about it was really close, she was just like, "How close was it?"
It's just like, excuse
And
me.
me and
You're
the
like, it
professor
was
were
so
both just
fun.
like, "Oh boy." We both knew that I was in trouble.
You should have treated it like a stand-up routine.
I considered it, but I didn't.
Darn. But you did it. Either way.
Yeah, I passed. I graduated. I made it.
So we both graduated, same major.
Completely different ends of the spectrum.
But then we moved on. We moved on from the
Yeah.
days of undergrad. And now let's talk about those next 2 years. 2 years after graduation.
Yep.
Where did we end up? So for me,
yeah.
I'll just go. It was fairly short. I decided, you know what was fun? Not school, but whatever. I'll do it again anyways.
Another. You threw
Another
your
one?
glass down and said, "Thank you, sir. May I have another?"
Exactly. And I said, let's do this just one more time. Maybe more. But for now, one more time. So here I am going for a master's degree in biology. I am
You're close.
studying. Huh?
You're close to finishing.
I am close. I am very close to finishing. About a month actually left.
Look at you.
So yeah, I did my time a second time, and here we are, almost at the finish line. But so technically, my degree is what is it? Evolutionary ecology and evolutionary biology, I think. Masters of Science, whatever. But specifically, I'm studying snakes in a very specific part of the world, Angola, Africa. I'm looking at their diet and reproduction. And I'm sure at some point we will have our own episode about my trip to Angola and what that was like. Because I have already spoken about it a little bit elsewhere, but I would be happy to go over it here as well. That's basically what I did for the past 2 years. I've been going to school again. Graduate school is very different from undergrad.
Yeah, it's a lot like it's more work, but also less work. Correct?
It's very weird. Yeah. So when I first started, a friend of mine who was in my lab in my group was like, "Listen, grad school is simultaneously the easiest and hardest thing you will ever do." And I was like, "What on earth does that mean?" But you know what? Now that I'm here near the end, he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
It seems so simple because you have fewer classes than undergrad. You get paid to do it. And like you don't have as much work as undergrad, not only because you're taking fewer classes, but the classes you take, they don't give you nearly as much like busy work to do as an undergrad class. So you feel like you have a ton of free time. You have like all the free time in the world. But at the same time, when you do have work, it's really hard. And it also, what am I trying to say? Also, you always do have work. You think you don't, but there's always something that you should be doing. Probably specifically your thesis. So it's really weird. It's a really weird thing that I've gone through that I'm still doing, but very much enjoyable. Glad I did it. I've learned a ton in 2 years, like nearly more than my 4 years probably. But I really enjoy it. glad to almost be done with it.
I still have to get you my your grad present. I
Yes.
have I think I showed it to you once.
I believe so.
Yeah, I picked it out for you after watching TV. I'm not sure if you do you remember it?
Not really.
All right,
I do remember talking about it.
I found it while watching TV. It led me to going on a website, and then I actually went through with it. I haven't bought it yet. I'm gonna have it shipped to your house. I believe I still have your address memorized.
Nice.
Like the psychopath that I am.
Just in case.
You never know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have to send it out end of this month, end of next month.
On the next episode of podcast, Castpod.
Castpod podcast.
Castpod the podcast. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. Pretty straightforward. So what have you been up to?
We graduated, and I've been working almost the entire time since that we graduated.
That's true.
I continued working at the place where we interned. It was a nature center. I worked my way up through there. I was in charge of animal care and making sure everyone was happy and healthy.
Yep.
Logically the best possible position, but then toxic relationship with the boss. Like, I'll get more into it on either when we have our more serious episode, or
I think we could do a work
friend.
episode.
Yeah, we could do like a work episode. I think we should do like just a real talk,
Yeah,
like really get into our issues episode. I feel like that would be fun.
that would be fun.
Boy howdy, it wouldn't be the best. So the best way I could describe it, I was kind of implying it a little bit when we were talking in that one group chat earlier about some things that we'll probably talk about in this episode a little bit.
Yes.
Hold on, do you hear my frogs?
I do. I wondered what that noise was.
That high pitched noise, that's my frog.
I love it.
So from where I was at this point last year, I would say my life has turned around pretty big. I lived in a pretty crappy apartment. I had a job where logically I should have been in, but I was in a toxic relationship with my boss, and I had to get out. So after 2.5 years, I left. My last day was Halloween, actually, and the only person that I said something to that was involved in my personal life ish was my girlfriend, who I also worked with, because she knew that was going down.
I assume
she knew I was having issues with her, and with our boss, and I was done with it. We just moved into a new apartment that was actually closer to that workplace, and so my last apartment, how many times did I actually invite you over when I was still there, not to just watch my pets?
Not much.
I think I can count.
Remember.
I think I can count on my hands how many times in total I invited somebody over. To come hang out in there, and it was just because it was a good apartment, but there was just situation after situation where it's this went wrong, so that wasn't good. But so we moved to a significantly better apartment, which we like a lot more, and you want to keep it down over there?
He's going off right now.
Yeah, I'm watching him actually. He's in the front corner, and I can see him just inflating in his throat. That's super cool. So we moved to a different apartment in August. So that was step number one, it's a lot nicer. In the first 6 months, I've already invited people over significantly more than my previous apartment.
This is true.
You've actually come over to hang out a couple of times.
I did.
Which is already a big improvement.
Yeah.
Go frog, go. Our frogs want to bang. So there's that, and then I left my previous job at Halloween. The first 2 weeks after I left, I did already have applications out because I've been applying for things for like a year at this point. Not a year, but like a bunch of months. I was ready to go. I just wanted a better job, but it got to a point where I left without a job.
Yeah.
And it was a bold risk, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And with that bold risk, I was just like, this is either going to go really badly or really well, but I needed to do it.
Yeah.
And I risked it, and it paid off a lot well. It worked out. Sure, money was tight for a couple months. And this is going back to the Costa Rica thing, where I was glad I didn't go, because the money I saved up from Costa Rica is pretty much exactly what put me over for going completely into debt.
Wow.
So that was the sleeper moment of the entire situation.
Yeah, it all worked out.
Yeah, so that was very beneficial. I had it sitting in my bank account. I didn't really touch it. I had no reason to. I wasn't going to Costa Rica. So it saved me with rent. I did a couple of freelance things for Dan, actually, and he paid me a lot more than I was expecting.
Nice.
And I was out of work for a total of almost exactly 2 months, actually, which it's not a long time comparatively. Like, my dad gets out of work for like 15 months stints at a time,
Right. Yeah, like you do.
But for someone who is living literally paycheck to paycheck, it's a lot.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
And then I talked about working at the place, like where I currently work actually now. I've made friends with the boss and a lot of staff there from just going there. It's a pet store, and I needed to buy things. So I talked to them. She jokingly offered me a job, and I was just like, no, I'm currently in a pretty good job for where I want to be. Sure, personally it sucked, but professionally it looked good.
Yeah.
But then it was actually my girlfriend who went in, and she was talking to the boss, and she was like, hey, did you hire anyone for that position yet? And then my boss was like, no. And then she's like, are you looking for a job? Asking my girlfriend this. And she was just like, I'm not, but Kevin is. And then my boss told her, go to this website, type in this stuff, you'll fit, and then apply. And I was apprehensive at first, won't deny that, but then I went through with it. I messed up on my application. I thought I put it down that hours that I was available. I thought it was for days that I wasn't available all day. I thought it was for just those. So I only put in certain a couple of shifts, and my boss was like, she was talking to Molly about it again, and she was just like, I don't know if Kevin can work here. And Molly's like, why? He's free all the time. And it's like, oh, his application says this. And then Molly just goes, he filled it out wrong. He's an idiot. He has it all the time in the world. And I talked to her on the phone about it, and I said, I filled it out wrong. I'm an idiot. I have all the time in the world.
Nice. It all got cleared up.
Yeah. And then because it was a supervisor position, I had to have a talk with the person in charge of the district. And he said, hey, looks like you're not super available. And I said, I filled it out wrong. I'm an idiot. I'm available all the time.
Let me just continue to have this conversation with everyone I meet.
Yes. And then I had like I had one interview in person with like my direct superior, and then a phone interview. It was the phone interview was actually the day after Christmas, um, and they liked the live animal experience that I had. Basically,
Nice.
that was a big part of me getting hired without little issues, is because like there's a lot of people there and they like know how to take care of a lot of animals. They know things about products, but for especially the exotics, not many people had that amount of knowledge. And I'm like, I know about all these things. And it was like day 2 or 3, like one of my first days there. I didn't even have a name tag yet. Um, my boss calls me. We have walkies at work, and she goes, "Hey, come to the front real quick." And then she's talking to a group of people, and then she says, "These people want a bearded dragon." And I'm like, "Okay." And I'm thinking she's gonna show me how to handle the sales and stuff. And she just goes, "Tell them everything they need to know about owning a bearded dragon."
Nice.
And I was just like, "You for real right now?" And she's like, "Yep, help them out, set them up with everything they need." And I just went, "Okay." And then and that's pretty, like, that was a moment where I truly felt like I hit my stride there. And and that was first week of January, and now it's the first week of April, and ever since then, it's been, at least for me, nothing but up.
Nice.
Are you peeing on the thing? I'm gonna kick your ass.
No,
Hold on.
I'm not. I'm not peeing.
Alright, no, we're good. We're good. I watched my cat. That's a story for a little bit from now. But
Oh dear.
I was gonna punt Carmilla. I was ready to. But yeah, so since I moved apartments, that helped improve my life. I've changed jobs. That's been helping out. So I've been doing a lot better than I was 2019.
Yeah, Kevin's been doing a lot, clearly.
And also, I've been collecting pets.
Yes.
That is also a very
far
big
more
thing.
pets than you did in 2016.
I did. In 2016, I actually had 0 pets.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I had one. I had my tortoise. Still.
Oh.
And I remember when it died because I cried in the office in front of Nicole.
I mean, yeah, who wouldn't?
And then after he died, I didn't have anything for the majority of junior year. Senior year, I got a Uromastyx. My girlfriend had a cat and 3 geckos when we first started dating. Then she got another cat. Then she got a snake. Then she got a 4th gecko. Then I got a fire skink. And then she got this. After the fire skink was my red-footed tortoise. After the tortoise, who only unfortunately lived about 2 months.
Yeah.
That was a shame. After that, I believe she got another gecko. After that gecko was the bearded dragon. We're actually trying to list this out earlier today, the order we got them. There's been a rotation of fish this entire time. And then after the bearded dragon was another gecko. And then after the bearded dragon was 1 gecko. And then I got my mossy tree frogs, and she got 2 geckos on the same day. And then since then we've only got 1 gecko. Oh, I had a snake at some point.
You did.
That escaped. That was also not good for my mental health.
That was sad.
That was a bad moment. And since the walking, and now I have walking sticks and some isopods. I currently have 9 species with 18 individuals, not include, and the individuals does not include the colonies of bugs.
Yeah. So, I have gained 1 pet. and that is a blue tongue skink. And that was not even a choice. My sister brought it here and said, this person can't take care of it anymore.
Here.
So here you go.
Also, you have a new thing, too. You have a baby.
Well, it's not mine.
Alright.
But I want to make that very clear off the bat. I do not own this creature.
I feel like that might be the title of the episode. It's not mine. I do not own this creature.
Yes, my sister has had a child, and she lives here now.
So we have
for
Uncle
reasons
Calum.
that I will explain someday.
We have Uncle Calum in the pod right now.
Yeah,
I like that.
Honestly, I probably wouldn't even have thought of that with the whole recap thing. Is that now I am an uncle.
Yeah, it's a major life event to most people, and then there's you who.
There's me who's like,
Also, we've been streaming.
We have been. Yeah, we've gotten pretty serious into the internet game.
Yes.
Of online entertainment, shall we say?
So I believe we're all caught up with actually what we've done since over the last 1,000+ days.
Basically.
Which is very entertaining. So we talked about bringing it back once a couple years ago. But I remember I think we've recorded it while we were driving in my car.
Yeah.
That car's now dead, by the way. The car we used to record in every night.
Oh, yeah.
That car's dead. It's in a ditch
My car
somewhere.
also died.
Yes. But that died in a different way.
That died in a very different way.
That died with us in it.
It's true.
So we tried it once, and the audio sounded like just terrible. And then there was also the drunk night where we thought about posting that.
We did record that.
That was an atrocious night for both of us.
That will not be released to the public.
I still have the file. I'm not gonna lie, I still have the file.
I'm glad you do, but that's never seeing the light of day.
I mean, it's like, I think it's like 12 hours long. It's something ridiculous like that. Half of it is us dead. Like, not asleep. We literally died that night.
No, yeah, actual death.
And there's also a good chunk that is us just sounding like we're exorcising demons out of ourselves.
I personally haven't heard it. I just remember the evening, so I don't need to hear it. I don't want to.
It's the only time I blacked out.
Yeah, likewise.
And it was just.
Well, technically, I didn't black out. I just passed out because I remembered it.
Yeah, I was straight up blacked out. I did things I didn't remember. I remember I woke up the next morning in different clothes, and my first thought was, Calum saw me naked. First thought.
I did not, just to clarify.
It turns out I just threw up all over myself. I don't remember.
That could be its own episode recounting that.
Yeah, I want to go back over it on like a weird anniversary, like 5 years or something from the incident.
We're not far off.
I think that's a solid, that was between junior and senior year, so that was 2017.
Yeah.
So next year or 2 years from now is 5 years. So we'll consider it then, I'll say.
Yeah. We shall see. But yeah, I think that basically covers everything. So now
back,
where are we?
I would say, so it was a little bit before 2020. Our buddy Dan just got affiliated on Twitch, and we were talking. What brought it back originally started was we kept making fun of our friend Danny's podcast for him sticking to it and being with it for like 2 years, and we still cranked out more episodes than him.
True.
Despite not doing anything for like a solid. Damn cats. Besides the fact that we didn't do anything with it for a solid, at this point, probably still over 1,000 days.
Yeah.
And then we decided, we were talking about The Simpsons and how it's in the year was 19-2, and
Yes.
we couldn't use the term 20 because the Kaiser took it for himself. So we gotta use the word dickety.
Great episode.
And with us using dickety, we joked about bringing back Castpod dickety, which might be the next.
Dickety.
Which I think we'll make that the next episode or something.
I think so, yeah.
So we were joking about that. We were gonna start it up at the new year, and then things just didn't work out for timing wise. You went on some pretty big trips.
Yeah, I went to Hawaii, and then I went to New Zealand. And then obviously the school year started up again, so I was busy with school. But now I don't really have to worry about school that much because of a certain situation that I think everyone in the world is aware of.
Yep. AIDS.
That's it. That's the one.
But so we talked about bringing it back multiple times, and then we were pushing hard because our friend Danny's podcast just passed the number of episodes. This is the episode to tie it, and we're just like, no, not allowed to happen.
We are number one.
Yes. So we tried for the last, I think, like 2 or 3 nights, and I remember one night I just fell asleep, and you were playing games with our other friends, so that didn't work out. Another night
I was just doing work.
You were just doing work and got caught up in that, so that didn't work out as well. And then
now we're here.
Almost an hour in, actually. We're about 13 minutes shy of being an hour in.
Wow, that's kind of surprising.
That went fast.
It did.
So I think the only thing to talk about right now is where do we want to go from now?
Yeah,
what's
I think
the next
this is
move?
Time to talk about where we want to go. So as Kevin said, we've been streaming a lot.
I have our Twitch links on the what's it called, on the background of the thing.
Nice. Yep.
On the screen.
So you can check both of those out: twitch.tv/ballyache, twitch.tv/VaneyD. We stream a variety of games, and we're definitely getting more serious about it, doing it more often now that we have more time. And then obviously we're bringing this back.
Yes, we
like
are.
I said, we're going to expand it out from just YouTube. We're going to do all these other podcast streaming sites, apps, what have you.
We're gonna try and just branch after I figure out how to do that. That's gonna be.
I mean, we were kind of inspired by our friends, Danny and Dan. Danny, as we mentioned, has started a podcast a little while ago. Well,
I think 2018.
Yeah, so nearly 2 years now. And he's really been taking it seriously, and it's definitely a bit of a motivator seeing him kind of
do it and
like flourish. So, and then our friend Dan has also recently just started a podcast. So we just kind of like, we should continue doing. We should branch out like they do, and try to up our quality. Because now we don't record in a car on a phone anymore.
Yeah, we're at computers and with setups and stuff like that right now.
We are at our own separate places. We have microphones. We have recording software.
We're
bumping it up to the next level here.
Yes, we are, which is awesome.
Yeah. So then, what we want to do is we want to do more with that, more with our Twitch channels, more with our podcast,
more with our friends.
Yeah, we're gonna do more stuff. So you'll be
Castpod
hearing
Gaming.
we'll be hearing from Danny and Dan a bit in podcasts, and then we've started a YouTube channel, Castpod Gaming, where we're gonna be uploading stuff from our streams, and then we're just kind of keeping the Castpod like moniker, I guess.
For
Um,
at least with the gaming channel for the time.
yeah,
That's up for negotiation with our friends.
yeah. But for right now, it's just kind of our combined name of stuff that we do. And then me personally, I'm starting a YouTube channel with Danny, as I've mentioned a few times. So that'll be uploading more. The title, as of right now, is Calum and Danny Save the World. It's going to be mostly nature-related videos of me going out into the wild, educating people on animals, the environment, what have you. Danny's going to be recording and adding some commentary. So that should be really cool. We should be uploading our first episode probably next week.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. We gotta figure out how to edit things.
And then from my point of view, this entire time, I've been working with Dan, our other friend, and we've been laying the groundwork for a project that we're working on. We really want it to succeed, so we've been really going heavy in the details. There's been a lot of planning with it. We've been going very hard in that court. We're trying to make it work. So we've been working a lot more behind the scenes. We have a couple of ideas, a couple things we want to do with Danny and Calum as well.
Yep.
And then we're working on that. Hopefully, there's not really much to say about it now because
it's still in the beginning phases of figuring stuff out.
We don't have a name for it yet, so that's why.
Project.
Yeah. That's not me saying we have a project. Isn't me trying to be super secretive. It's just that we have no name, so we don't know what to call it. But me and Dan have been working real hard behind the scenes on that. We've been trying to plan things out, make it work, get people on board with it, and hopefully we'll be able to give more news in the near future.
So expect a lot more from us coming out very soon. A lot of different projects and things going on, which we're excited to share with you all. So this might not be the most exciting episode for people, especially people listening for the first time.
But this is the recap.
Yeah, this is the reintroduction to who we are, what we do, and where we want to be in the future.
Before we go, there is 2 segments that we talked about bringing back.
Yeah.
Or not even bringing back, creating.
Not bring back, but creating. Yeah.
What's it called? Where we were joking around on Minecraft actually about it.
Yes.
And so while we were joking around with it, it kind of became a bit that we're gonna go through with for a little bit, and have a moment in each episode of like, one is something led by me and the other is something led by Calum. And we'll see how it goes out. So, do you want to start with yours or should I start with mine?
I'll start with mine.
Alright. So, do you remember the title I gave this with the graphic?
It was, what was it? I can't remember.
It was Dingus Dictionary.
That's what it was. Yeah, so in this fun little segment, I will be asking Kevin a word or 2. And I want him to A, try to spell it, and B, give me a definition for it. Because I know some words. I read things every once in a while.
I don't.
And Kevin doesn't. So I think it would be kind of fun.
Kevin's just an illiterate chimpanzee.
But maybe we can educate him today, and we can educate you people listening as well. So your first word is Monophyletic.
Okay. Monothyletic.
Yeah.
Mono
hmm
Thyletic.
You were one letter off.
Is there an H?
It's Monophyletic.
Stupid. Stupid.
Monophyletic. So what does that word mean, Kevin?
Alright, monophyletic. So, I know mono means one.
hmm
Phyletic, does it mean it belongs to one phylum in taxonomy?
Very close. It's like you basically got it.
Nice.
The word means it's of a group of organisms descended from a common evolutionary ancestor or ancestral group, especially one not shared with any other group. So basically, I took this word from my classes and my learning. When you have a family tree of species, it's everything in that group descended from one common ancestor. So if you look at like primates, that's a monophyletic group. They're all descended from one thing, and they're all related to each other in that way. Yeah. So, fun fact. That's what that means.
I feel like me getting close for both things on the first episode really ruined the legitimacy of it.
Now it seems like you're just too smart for this.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta try harder now.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, I'll give you another one then.
Alright.
And this one's a bit of a cheat, but I enjoy it anyways. Your word is Maleficent.
What?
Your word is Maleficent.
Maleficent?
Yes.
Can you use it in a sentence? Do I get lifelines?
Yeah, you can get some lifelines. Hang on,
Alright.
let me look up. Let me look up something real quick. Filling the airspace of me Googling. I'm trying to find a quote here,
Oh god.
but I don't know if I'll be able to. Okay, I'll just say Maleficent was not very kind to King Stefan, but for good reason.
Okay. I'm going to say... Is it actually Maleficent? Like the evil lady in Sleeping Beauty?
Maybe.
Did I actually... Oh, no wait. Crap. I might have got the definition, but I don't know how to spell it.
Okay.
M-A-L...
Alright.
I-F...
Okay.
A-C-A-N-T. And...
No.
No?
Maleficent.
Okay. Yeah, that was close. And
Pretty close. And the word definition.
it is the evil witch from Sleeping Beauty, where she was pissed off that she didn't get invited to a baby's birthday party, which you would have been glad about. And
Yes.
if you were the evil witch in that movie, nothing would have went wrong.
Technically correct. But yeah, so the word is Maleficent. The reason I pronounce it like a dummy is because of the way it was pronounced in the movie.
Oh yeah.
With Angelina Jolie, because the main dude was Scottish, so he said it like he was choking on something. Yeah. But the actual word Maleficent, other than being the name of the character, means causing harm or destruction, especially by supernatural means.
Oh.
Yeah.
I should have inferred better, but
But there you go. So that's what
Alright.
that is. You were close
that was
for both of
That was
those.
closer on the first one, so
I'll have to find some tougher things.
I'll cut the second one out.
Yeah, that's fine. Nobody needs to know.
Yeah, nobody needs to know how wrong I was. All right. So, and for my bit for
Yes.
the episode, it's this one I have fun with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm a big professional wrestling fan,
Oh yeah.
and the professional wrestling world is some of the most insane stuff around. Um,
Right.
it's it's pretty insane, and so my segment is called Real or Fake, and
Mm.
I'm gonna tell Calum a situation, and he's gonna have to tell me if this is something I just made up or if it is a legitimate thing that happened in the world of wrestling at some point. And
Yes.
granted, I can make it up and happen to not realize it's part of the wrestling world, but if that happens, just tell me, because I don't, I genuinely don't know.
Yeah.
So, um, so like an example would be that a bunch of years ago, in like about 5-10 years ago, two of the best wrestlers in the world right now had a match in front of a crowd of about 50 people where they sang and danced around the ring singing John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Which I've seen. He's sent me that video.
Yes, so I would ask him that, and he would have to guess if it was real or fake. And that's a legitimate thing. Daniel Bryan and Kenny Omega did that. Bean, get the bug on the wall. Get it. No, you're looking out the window. There's going to be an entire episode dedicated to Bean.
Bean. It's Kevin's cat.
Yes, that's one of the cats, and she's kind of a dingus. Um,
Good.
so for this episode's real or fake,
Yes.
one of the top wrestlers of today was forced to wear a full body suit and face paint, and he pretended he was from a distant planet, and that was why he quit that company. Is this real or fake, Calum?
So one of the top wrestlers
Yes.
was supposed to pretend he was an alien,
Pretty much.
and then he quit because of that.
Yes.
Because it was just so ridiculous. I'm
Yes.
guessing.
And I'll
See
give
what
you.
you-
I'll give you 3 yes or no answers or questions.
Okay. Was it John Cena?
It was not John Cena.
Dang it. Oh, he still does stuff. I feel like I'm not going to know any retired wrestling people.
Okay, I'll give you another one. I'll make this your second one. He is
Okay.
not currently retired. He is still active to this day.
Oh, he's just not working with that company.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Hmm. See, when you say it, it doesn't sound that ridiculous, honestly.
No.
Like it sounds like something if I was a professional wrestler and somebody said that, I'd be like, oh heck yeah.
Mhm.
All right, let's go. I mean, like I would get in front of, like 100 people and just dance around pretending I'm like a dinosaur or something.
Mhm.
I'm definitely not opposed to that. So, I'm gonna go. I'm not even gonna ask questions. I'm just confident. I'm gonna say, first of all, that this was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
It was not Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay, was it The Undertaker?
It was not The Undertaker.
Dang it. You know what? The final answer, it's Rey Mysterio, and yes, it's real.
It is real, but
Yes.
it's not Rey Mysterio.
No.
So the wrestler is Cody, or Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes.
So this was in the WWE. His father was very well known decades ago, Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, and very creative. And his brother is Dustin Rhodes, who was gold dust,
Mm,
and would walk around in gold face paint and a gold bodysuit, and was
nice.
a general bizarro. And it was like they took Cody and they were like, let's one up this. Where this kid, um, he had some good ideas. He was in some good tag teams and good matches and stuff. Knew what to do, but they had him dressed up as, I forget where they said he was from, but his name was Stardust, and that led him. And he kept asking. He's like, "This gimmick is stupid. Can I get something else?" They're like, "No, this is good. This is good shit." And then he was like, "Can I tweak it like this?" And they're just like, "No." And he was just like, "You know what? I'm done." When his contract ran up, he left. And
I'm looking at pictures
of him,
right now of Stardust,
yes,
and wow, yeah.
not surprised.
I see where he's coming from.
And after he left, he wrestled for other companies. He wrestled in Japan. Now he is the executive vice president for WWE's biggest competition, AEW.
Wow.
So he really, really made a big mistake of leaving because he didn't like what he was doing. It's like he got nowhere. He didn't become like a world famous name or anything like that.
Oh, wow. Well, there you go. There you have it. Those are some
So that's a correct point.
new
for Calum.
sections of Castpod. But yes, I got one.
Yeah.
I think now we will end it off.
All right. Do we want to plug our friends first?
I think so. So, to call out some friends, we've mentioned them a bunch of times because they're great. They make good content. We have Danny, who is the host of Heartburn, the podcast.
Yep. At Heartburn Cast.
Yes, on Instagram and Twitter, I believe. We have Dan, who we said streams on Twitch under the name Dialex4.
Yep.
He also has a YouTube channel, Dialex4_TV. He has a new podcast.
Dialex 4. D4 in theory.
In theory, yep. Which is just starting out. What else? What are we missing?
I mean,
That's it.
That's really it. Yeah, just them.
Yeah.
We actually have nothing for Castpod yet, but they do have merchandise for Dialex 4.
Yeah, we have merch. Well, they have merch.
They have merch, and that's
Kevin has merch.
Yeah, it's all designed by me. I would say the website name is on the screen for the YouTube channel because I don't wanna pronounce it out, and there will be a link in the description if I can put one there.
And I think that's it.
That's really it. It's really easy when half of us are already in it.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Like I said, expect more from us, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Till next time.
Bye.